Ah, jeez. All day. This is all they do. They just look around. National security advisor won't say who Trump believes is more responsible for the war in Ukraine, Putin or Zelensky. Here's more responsible. Putin, period. If you're mad at the West for encroaching, that's one thing. You attacked your neighbor. That's what you did. You attacked your neighbor, and you can be mad at the Americans and NATO and all of everybody else. You can be as mad as you want. That's fine. But you went in there. You did it. So whatever reason you went in there, it was still your move. As you and I were talking about earlier, you can't tell me that Donald Trump was responsible for January 6th. It was those people's actions that was responsible for them getting in trouble. Now, the over-prosecution is one thing, but they did they fought, they did their thing themselves. That was their individual action. You can be mad at the West, but your action, Putin, was going into another country and attacking them.
And his excuse was literally that the government of Ukraine had been taken over by Nazis.
That was his.
He had to get rid of the Nazis in the government. And Zelensky is Jewish.
Yes. Well, of course.
But he's a Nazi.
Is there a group of like ultra nationalists that are on the border who have been fighting with them for a very long time? Yeah, there is. Okay, and it's not all of the country.
And certainly not their Jewish leader.
Yeah. And it's funny because, like people text, you think he's a good guy, Zelensky? I don't know. I don't know him. He could be a wonderful human being. He might be a bad guy. I don't know him.
There's certainly a level of corruption going on there that we would never tolerate openly.
They were the most corrupt nation in Europe for a very long time. In fact, corruption is one of those things where the way their corruption worked, it was almost like if there wasn't corruption, they would be uncomfortable with it. Because they expect there to be corruption. But I don't know as a human being what he's like. But do I think he's a better person than Putin? I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah. Stop trying to defend a horrible human being. Because there is no defense for that. I mean, if Joe Biden would have had Donald Trump killed and stopped saying he tried to, you guys would have been out of your mind, as all of us would have been. This guy regularly does that to his people. Regularly does. He snatches people to go fight in his war. Off the streets. They've lost how many men, not just to war, to leaving and fleeing their country. He has put their country behind the 8 ball for quite a long time. So, do I think Zelensky's a good guy? I think he's part of a system and a machine. And he's going to be not a factor in 6 or 7 months because they'll have an election and he may be there. He may not be there. But I can tell you one thing. Outside of him dying, let me tell you who's going to be there in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Putin. He ain't going anywhere. At all. No way. Way.